Good morning. Namaste. As a reminder, that reverently means that the divinity inside of me recognizes that same divinity in you and in all living creatures everywhere. Let's begin practice sitting tall, hands together at our heart. We'll chant one long Om. I guess today will be a day of reminders. Om is said to be the sound of all sounds, the sound of the universe. Some people would say the sound of God or consciousness. It has 4 parts: Ah, O, vibrating, and silence. So you're welcome to chant with me. Adding our vibration to the world of vibration all around us. Let's go ahead and stand up for the beginning of today's practice. We haven't done a shaking meditation in a little while, so we'll do just a minute or so of this. And as a reminder, stand with your feet comfortably wide so you have a strong foundation, and just bounce up and down. Get a little tunes going for us. All right, so starting with just a small bounce, you can let your shoulders lift and drop, lift and drop. Stand tall here, so we have structural alignment, shoulders over hips, hips over knees and ankles. Feel free to sigh it out, create some noise if that's okay in your house right now. It might feel silly, it might feel really good and worth feeling silly. At what point did we become self-conscious about doing something weird? Maybe some of us aren't. I'm getting back to it. If it feels good, I'm doing it. Alright, notice your feet on the ground connected. Maybe you start to bounce your heels off of the mat, sending a vibration up the legs. Maybe for the next few seconds you lift your arms up overhead. Three more big breaths here, wherever you want to go with it. Maybe you get really wild. Slowly find stillness. Standing with your feet wide enough that maybe you can softly close your eyes or lower your gaze. Notice what you feel in your body. Maybe that got your heart beating. All right, let's all come to the top of our mats, block between our thighs. Squeezing the block there, we can better anchor down through our tailbone, imagining we're lifting up from our front hip points. Squeeze the block and inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, hinge forward, half sun salutation. Take your time on the way down. You can always bend your knees. As you squeeze the block, you might notice it helps you to find more length in the knees and the legs. On an inhale, lift halfway, long spine. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, root down as you rise up, 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 up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Twice more with our breath. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Maybe find a back bend. Exhale, hands to your heart. Once more. Inhale up. Exhale, fold, squeeze the block. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root down, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, dip down, fingertips graze the ground, maybe. Reach your arms up and exhale, settle into Utkatasana chair pose. Do the best you can. Some of us have good reason to resist this posture. Breathe deeply. You can stay just as you are or take a twist. Inhale for extra length. Exhale, hands to your heart. Twist to your left. Fold forward, sit back. Right elbow finds the outer left thigh. Maybe it has to stay on your right thigh. Maybe you pick up and move your belly tissue. One of the leaders of the teacher training I did is an MD, and she said, it's just adipose tissue. Just pick it up and move it. So belly stuff, no worries. One more breath. On an inhale, stand up. Exhale, hands to your heart, twist to your right. Sit back in your chair. Hook your left elbow onto your outer right thigh if you can. Work with what you've got. Press your hands together, helping you rotate your spine. Maybe you look up over your right shoulder. 3 more breaths here. You're in control. You can always release it early. You can always stand up and return. 1 more breath. Inhale, stand up, reach up, lean back maybe. And exhale, hands to your heart and down by your sides. Let's go ahead and release. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Hold the block between your legs. One more fun thing. Urdhva Hastasana. So standing tall in Tadasana, block between thighs. Explore lifting your heels. We did this, I think, on Tuesday, Wednesday. Time does not exist. So exploring standing on your toes, floating your heels off the mat. If this feels reasonable, then maybe we also reach our arms. There it becomes Urdhva Hastasana. And you can do this with your feet staying planted. Keep anchoring your tailbone, lifting your front hip points, lifting your heart, maybe coming onto your toes. Let's see if we can balance on our toes for 3. Squeeze the block. 2, lift your heart. 1 more breath. And exhale, float your arms and heels down. Release the block now to the top of your mat. On an inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward all the way down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root down, rise up. Exhale, hands clasp behind your back. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, imagine the knuckles lifting you back up. Switch the clasp, the opposite thumb comes on top. With your next exhale, fold forward again. Imagine the knuckles lift you towards the sky. Return to stand. Exhale, release the posture, neutralize your spine. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, sit back in chair. You can stay here. You can explore twisting with balance. We inhale for length. Exhale, hands to our heart. Twist to the left. Fold forward, finding our revolved chair. I'm sorry, Emily. Find a little balance on your left foot. Float your right foot off the ground. Just an option. When you've had enough of that, set your right foot down. Inhale back to neutral. Reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a seat and twist to the right. Breathe here. Maybe you balance on the right foot, floating your left foot off of the mat. Almost done with the chair. Inhale. Exhale, set your foot down. Return to stand. Reach. And exhale, fold forward, plant your hands maybe on your blocks, and step back to downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, I encourage you to really sway your hips, maybe more than you usually do. Stretch out your side body as you sway the hips side to side. A few more breaths to breathe and settle in. Let your head hang heavy. Shoulders slide away from the ears, space for the neck to release. Push the ground away. Scoop your belly in, hips high, heels melting down towards the mat, but we're not stressed about them meeting the mat. It comes with time, maybe. Inhale, exhale into plank. Push the ground away here. Breathe. Option to bring your left knee to the outer left elbow. Keep breathing, set your left foot down. Right knee to right elbow, breathing. Push the ground away. Set your right foot down. Let's all bring left knee to left elbow. Inhale. Exhale, step the foot to the outside of your left hand. Prastasana, lizard pose. You can lower your right knee. You can keep your right toes tucked or untucked. Yogi's choice here, but let's all inhale. Look to lengthen our spine and lift our heart a bit. As you exhale, maybe you fold forward. Remember in lizard pose that the bent leg is hugging into that same arm, so we feel the pressure of the left leg meeting the left arm. Breathe here. On an inhale, plant your hands, sitting up, if you will, a little taller. Bring your left hand to your left thigh, push it out wide, look over your left shoulder, push the ground away. I just caught myself dumping into my right shoulder, so maybe you do too. Catch it and adjust it. Maybe you lean back in space, creating more space for you. And unwind. Inhale back to neutral. Plant your hands, tuck your right toe if it's not already. Exhale, step yourself back to downward facing dog or find child's pose. 3 to 5 breaths wherever you go. Oh, there he is. Good morning, Toby. All right, from child's pose, return to downward facing dog if you're not there already. From downward facing dog, we'll come forward into plank. Push the ground away in plank. Breathe here. Energy going back through your feet and heels. Bring your right knee to your right elbow. Hover. Push the ground away. Inhale. When you exhale, step or swing that right foot up to the top of the mat outside of your right hand. Right arm hugging into the right leg, hugging into the right arm. Maybe you lower your left knee down. Toes tucked or untucked. Inhale, find length in your spine. Exhale, option to lower down to your forearms. Always bring your blocks to a higher setting. Deep hip opening. Breathe with it. Looks good. Nice, Delia. I can tell you're hugging that leg into the arm. Awesome. Another couple breaths. Awesome. You can imagine sending your right hip back in space a little, left hip, outer left hip swinging around to the front, helping us square those hips. And as you inhale, start to lift your torso again. Right hand comes to the right thigh, guide it out to the right side, twisting, look over your right shoulder. Do it in a way that feels good to you. Once you get there, push away from the ground with your left hand. Lovely, everyone. Another slow cycle of breath here. Unwind, returning to face front. Plant your hands, inhale, exhale, step back to downward facing dog. On an inhale, look forward, and exhale, step yourself to the top of your mat. You can move the blocks to the side. On an inhale, root down, rise all the way up, arms out and up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Turn to face the wide edge of your mat, taking a wide stance. Anchor into the pinky side edges of your feet. Hands on hips, anchor your tailbone down. I like to press my thumbs into my hips. Lift your heart, inhale, core engaged, exhale, hinge forward with a flat back. Keep pressing into the pinky side edge of your feet. And once you make your way into your forward fold, you can release your hands if you like. You can grab your blocks if you like. Let gravity take over. Find some decompression in your spine. You can always allow a bend into your knees. Okay, you can stay here or twist with me, planting your left hand in the middle of the mat. Inhale, reach your right hand up to the sky. With your next exhale, slowly set your right hand back down. Inhale your left hand up. Toby. Keep breathing. Inhale and exhale, set your hand down. Now bend your knees like they're gonna find their way into your armpits. You can walk your feet in a little to make that make sense. You can kind of pick up your belly and let it drop between your thighs. Reach your hands to your outer ankles. Let your neck and head hang heavy. We're basically in an upside down happy baby right now. Can you pull on your ankles and kind of arch your heart forward? We're still staying in our forward fold. We're just creating a little isometric muscle contraction if we can. Same as how we would pull our feet down if we were in happy baby. One more breath here. Happy baby with quads engaged, I guess. As you release your breath, you can release your legs, straightening them. And on an inhale, rise all the way up, long spine. Reach your arms out and up. Pivot so your right toes point to the front. Widen your stance and exhale into warrior two. Adjust your feet as needed. Shoulders are stacked right over your hips. Depending on how your camera is set up, it might work as a nice tool to be able to check your posture. Glance down, you can see your right big toe on the inside of your right knee. Our fingertips are reaching away from each other. Feel really broad and open through your heart. Maybe adjust your feet so that you can get lower into your front thigh. Keep the connection to the pinky side edge of your back leg. Lots of energy going there so we don't roll in on our ankles. Inhale, flip your front palm to the sky and reach up. Long torso here, stretch the side body out. Exhale, cartwheel your arms down, side angle. You can have your right arm bent. You know I like to keep mine straight to avoid temptation of sinking into my shoulder. See if you can revolve your heart towards the sky. One more breath here. And with an inhale, rise up, return to warrior two. Exhale, straighten your right foot, pivot that foot in, switching feet, so left toes point to the short edge of your mat, bend into your left knee, adjust your stance. So we have heel to arch alignment. We could see our big toe. We're anchored into the pinky side edge. Fingertips float away from each other. We're really open through our heart. Gaze over your left fingertips with a relaxed jaw. Just out of camera shot, Toby is really loving on his catnip pouch. Very cute. Keep breathing here as your fingers stretch away from each other. Flip your left palm to the sky and inhale, reach up, long torso. Imagine lifting up out of your hips and then over. Press into the right pinky side blade of your foot. Another inhale, and when you exhale, cartwheel your arms down, finding extended side angle. Heart is revolving towards the sky. Maybe we sink a little lower into our left thigh. Beautiful. One more breath. And on an inhale, cartwheel yourself back up, warrior two. Exhale, straighten your left leg, pivot on the heel, hands come to hips, and we will heel toe our way back to stand. Stand at the top of your mat. Inhale, reach up and out. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands, step yourself back to downward facing dog. Last one of this brief practice, so make it feel good, whatever it's calling for you. One more breath here. As you exhale, release your knees to the mat. We're in tabletop now. Right hand comes to the center of the mat. Inhale your left hand to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. You can stay there or 3 breaths moving with me. Inhale to reach. Exhale, thread. Inhale, reach. Exhale, thread. Inhale, reach. Exhale, thread. And then plant your left hand in the center. Inhale your right hand to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. Maybe you find stillness. Inhale, reach if you'd like to be dynamic. Exhale, thread. 2 more times. And as you complete the cycle, replant both of your hands. Inhale, drop your belly, cow. Exhale, arch your spine, cat. Inhale, drop your belly, cow pose, pull your heart forward. Exhale, push the ground away, cat pose. One more time. Sit back on your heels and swing your legs around. Grab a block, maybe 2 blocks. We have some bridge options. So if you know you'd like to find stillness in bridge, you can put a block between your thighs and then one under your hips or under your sacrum for support. Other option is to keep block between your thighs and to dynamically move with it. Inhale, lifting hips and arms. Exhale, setting them down. Really, we're utilizing the block here to help us keep our hips and legs in alignment. Also keeping a bit of that isometric muscle contraction, so muscles hugging into bones. Wherever you go with bridge pose, let's be sure that the back of our heads are pressing into the mat and that the chest is coming towards the chin. The chin is not tucking towards the chest. Okay, other options. You can squeeze the block and walk your upper arms under your back, maybe clasping hands, maybe holding on to the outer edges of your yoga mat, pressing your feet into the ground to lift your hips higher. Maybe here you decide to put a block under your hips, but stay active. Or well, shoot, you do whatever you want. Maybe it feels better here to not stay active, to relax. You know what's going on with you. So honor that. Be good to yourself. Other options, feel free to play here in your practice. Maybe you bring a leg in towards your chest. Maybe you lift it towards the sky. Taking a couple of breaths on each side. So if you do it with one leg, be sure you do it with the other. We'll stay about 5 more breaths in bridge pose, wherever you're going with it. Check in that the back of your head is pressing firmly into the mat. That your feet are staying connected to the earth you're intentionally rooting down. Good. And as you finish your cycles of breath, you can slowly begin to release your hips back to the mat, so moving the blocks, of course, if need be. You can bring the soles of your feet together, letting your legs open out in Supta Baddha Konasana, or you can move right into Shavasana. So choosing your final posture for today's practice, whatever best serves you. You might keep your arms out wide, palms to the sky, sinking into the earth, receptive. Or maybe you place one hand on your heart space, one hand on your belly, maybe hands even on your hips. Find something that feels really nurturing, kind to yourself. I'll share a passage from the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. These are really the lessons of yoga, the 8-limbed path. From chapter 133, by cultivating attitudes of friendliness towards the happy, compassion for the unhappy, delight in the virtuous, and disregard toward the wicked, the mind stuff retains its undisturbed calmness. So the sutras refer to our chatty monkey mind as chittavrittis, which translates to mind stuff. And what we can find through our yoga practice, through our breathing exercises and meditation practice, is an undisturbed calmness in that mind stuff. By cultivating attitudes of friendliness towards the happy, compassion for the unhappy, delight in the virtuous, and disregard toward the wicked, the mind stuff retains its undisturbed calmness. Whether you're interested in reaching samadhi, enlightenment, or plan to ignore yoga entirely, I would advise you to remember at least this one sutra. It will be very helpful to you in keeping a peaceful mind in your daily life. You may not have any great goal in your life, but just try to follow this one sutra well, and you will see its efficacy. Swami Satchidananda says that in his own experience, this sutra became his guiding light to keep his mind serene always. Friendliness, compassion, delight, and disregard. Deepen your breath as you're ready. Take a full body stretch if it feels good. Make your way back to a comfortable seated posture as you're ready. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Softly close your eyes if it's comfortable. And we'll share one long Om to vibrate us out into the world for the weekend ahead. Inhaling for Om. Thank you for sharing your yoga asana practice. Namaste.